Alrighty, are we live? We are live. Very cool. Alrighty, ready, right. Very nice. Sweet. I'm just dropping the link now to the live stream in the Discord here. Cool. All right. Let's go. Let's see. See what we got going on here. Fun. Okay. Looks like all is well here. All right. Let's get back to it. So, we are in it. We are live. Let's go. Cool. All right. So, hello everyone. My name is Gabriel Quinn. I am a concept artist. I am a character designer primarily, and I love designing characters and I love world building, all this fun stuff. And today we're gonna be doing what we always do, which is just building some worlds. So while we wait for everyone to hop in, oh yo, we got Jake. Let's go. We're just gonna be designing and doing some costume design here, among other things, but primarily looking at this character's costume a little bit. Figuring some stuff out about our IP Fish World, which I've been working on for quite some time now. And it's just kind of a bit of a labor of love, a bit of a passion project that I've been working on for a good little while, and here we are working on it again. So it's a ton of fun. I think it's a ton of fun, personally. So we've kind of worked out from a base here, which I really enjoy. Oh, we got Nabs here too. What up, Nabs? Let's go. So I can show you guys the line art for this. It was pretty basic. I just kind of focused in on creating some appealing shapes for this character. The expression kind of changed a few times, but I ended up with this more kind of focused look. One we tried as well was this kind of more optimistic look, but I wanted there to be a little bit more focus in the character. And an earlier sketch was gosh, do we have them? Yeah. An earlier sketch was started here, just a little rough sketch, and eventually came to here. But I didn't really like the shape too much. Like, it wasn't working so well. So I ended up pushing it a little bit in this direction and then wanting it to be honed in a little bit more thematically. And for the coloring, for me personally, I love to drop down on some gray. So we're working on kind of a neutral background. And I think I dropped in the gray first, did a little base coloring here. And on top, I just added some of this green tone, right? Kind of add that vibrancy, starting to add in some shadows here and there. Just like very simple rendering stuff, just kind of messing around. We got Seth H in the chat. Says, hey Gabriel, happy to finally catch a stream even though I can't stay long. Dude, so happy to have you, man. So happy to have all the based patrons in the chat. Let's go. You guys are awesome. You guys are sweet. You guys are the best. Love you guys. Shout out to all the patrons. You guys rule. All right, cool. But yeah, definitely haven't worked. I haven't been streaming on schedule recently, man. It's been a big adjustment period, and for the next 3 weeks, I'll definitely, I think, be streaming a little bit less. I'm gonna be in LA for a while, visiting some family and friends, all that good stuff. But I'm planning on recording a lot, so I don't know if you guys saw my last post with the Gale character design I worked on, but that was a really fun one. And I did a little breakdown for that, so I think I'm gonna take some designs I've been doing and do the same thing for those, just a little breakdown video, and go from there. Just do some more of that stuff for fun. It's like really fun to do that tutorial based, or not tutorial, but breakdown based stuff. Oh, we got Calvin. What up, Calvin? Let's go. Alrighty, sweet. Yeah, so I titled this stream World Building because I wanted to talk about a topic I'm very passionate about, which is world building. And actually, I think like reverence. I think I wanted to talk about reverence a little bit more than usual, because I feel like when we're world building sometimes we can kind of get in the zone of like, yeah, this is like a project I'm working on or a world I'm working on, and this is what it is. It's just like, Neo Tokyo, cyberpunk, whatever, this, that, mixed with this, and this. And we're like not really considering the broader implications of the world building process that we're engaging in. I wanted to talk about that a little bit because, I don't know, I feel like there could be a lot more focus put on the spirit of the project you're working on, right? So for instance, with Fish World, I feel like initially what sparked the design here in a way that I really love so much was it was a very humorous design world. The whole project came about because someone who I was kind of sketching with at the time in the room, they were like, oh, that hat looks like a fish. And that was like the jump off point from the whole thing. And everything was almost kind of like a bit of a joke. I was like, oh yeah, they'll have fish hats and they'll put fish on their hats and they'll do this and they'll do that. And for those of you who don't know, that's one of my like world building projects I've been working on for quite some time, and continuing to work on, and with this little guy as well. He's for this world too. So yeah, it's just kind of interesting how like it started off more as a joke, more humorous in the world building process, and then gradually became more serious. Like I kind of kept making it more serious, with like some eldritch themes and some darker kind of authoritarian themes and everything, and I kind of lost that core piece that was like the humor of the thing, which was like, oh, crab guy or fish guy or all that stuff. So I'm kind of feeling like I want to get back into that charming spirit of the world that I fell in love with so much when working on the project. And so I started drawing this guy, and without really thinking a lot about all of those old themes I had been really hyper fixated on in terms of the very kind of dark, authoritarian, strange world and all that stuff, and more focusing a little bit on the wonderment side of things, right? Because the worlds that we design can be rich and diverse, and just because there are some dark themes here and there doesn't mean you have to only focus on that. I mean, I love the game, the BioShock series, and I love BioShock Infinite because you have these moments of wonder in the world, and then you see the dark underbelly, of course, and how strange and uncanny it is, but that doesn't take away from the charm and the beauty of many of the settings, right? So in this version here, I'm working on this guy. I feel like he's doing something. I'm not 100% sure. Like, I feel like maybe he's about to perform some kind of like dance or something. Like he's about to perform or explain, or he's silencing a room. Maybe he's like a young character who has a lot of opinions, and maybe he's, speaking to the struggle of the people, and he's, quieting the room for everyone to listen to him. Maybe he's got a lot of opinions, he's this one of these outspoken young characters that we see a lot of. And that's kind of a cool idea for me. I think that's kind of interesting, right? So one thing you're seeing me doing already is I'm adding in some kind of tertiary details, so little bits of highlight along the form, and this kind of tells us that this material is a little bit shiny, maybe it's a little bit kind of looks almost wet in nature. And I think that this is definitely some kind of, cloak or shawl made from some processed kind of kelp or something, right? Because in the world of Fish World, they mostly have materials that come from the ocean. So I'm incorporating that design into the world here, or incorporating that rule that I set for the world into the design here. And speaking about like reverence and world building, I feel like sometimes I'm afraid to take myself seriously. I'm afraid to take my design seriously, and I'm afraid to really say like, hey, like this character is sensitive and has opinions and feels things. Oftentimes it's easy for us to sort of distance ourselves. So, we get this like strange perspective where we have like the creation we're working on, and we have us working on the creation, right? And we have us working on the creation, and then we have us judging us working on the creation. So it's kind of like before we even let ourselves explore the world, we have to pass through this barrier of what we think it's even socially acceptable to think or feel. And I feel like as artists, a lot of the times we're just like, oh, he's just a little guy, or I'm just drawing little guys and stuff. But, I don't know. I feel like there's really some deep stuff there. So I feel like the solution is either kind of consciously absolving a lot of these these like barriers and stuff, and kind of letting yourself get back into the zone without those restrictions, or it's just kind of like getting into the zone and bypassing this completely to the point where it's kind of like you're shielded from this exterior view. And I feel like for me that happens most of the time, very late at night, or when I'm super in the zone, or, you know, there's other stuff going on. Like, it's very rare that I'll find myself in the zone more now, where I used to be able to, I feel, get into that zone a lot more effectively maybe when I was a little bit younger. And I never understood when people who were, you know, kind of advancing through their life started to think back and be like, oh man, you know, I have to do X, Y, and Z, or rah, 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 rah. And I feel like I don't have that wonderment anymore. And I was like, what are you talking about, dude? You're an artist. Like, how can you lose your wonderment? But it's so easy to lose your wonderment. So for me, kind of trying to get that back through this project, and honestly through teaching. I mean, the mentorship class has been going incredibly well, and I just see some of the mentees in the chat right now as well. Oh, we got Aurora's too. So yeah, Mego joined, Ayub joined, and Solaire joined. Let's go. Love you guys. You guys are awesome. You guys are amazing. And if you want to hang out with us in the Discord, you can do so through the link in the description. The Discord access is through Patreon. It's only $3 a month. It's very little, and we do character design challenges and fun stuff. Actually, I'll show you guys the one I did today, which was really fun. So for today's character design challenge, we had a challenge a little bit of 40 minutes, right? 40 minutes, and this was my entry in 40 minutes. So we used random words as the prompt, and the random words for this one were really weird. They were gosh, what were they? They were zesty, torpid, and oven. It was 3 random words. And so the torpid part being like that's like lethargic or lazy or not functioning, not working. And I don't know, I kind of took that as a prompt to explore this character dynamic of what if there's just like a very particular chef with this big, you know, pizza shovel or whatever they're called, and we've got this enormous, you know, very strong woman who is helping to feed the oven, shoveling coal in. And I was imagining she was probably, you know, probably this like, I don't know, like this Swedish lady or something. You know, it's stereotypical, but it's funny. And she's like, oh, I'm shoveling the coal and I'm doing the thing to do. And the chef guy is like, will you not stop singing? I am trying to focus on the pizza pie. You know, like this classic vibe. Or I guess he's Italian now, I suppose, because he's doing pizza. So there you go. But yeah, like that kind of dynamic. You know, it was so fun to work on these character designs, and everybody did such a great job, actually. Yeah, it's really cool. But this was my little entry. I did a little scribble to kind of show the dynamic of taking the pizza out, shoveling in. But 40 minutes, man, not enough time. 40 minutes is a really short amount of time, but I'm really happy with the dynamic I got out of these guys. I feel like I need maybe one more drawing to show the relationship here, but we do this stuff, you know, usually multiple times a week. Either I'm hosting or one of the OG server members is hosting the character design challenges. So you can join the Discord if you wish, if you want, through the Patreon. I guess while we're plugging stuff, I'm announcing my course. My course is coming back. So I have a 7-week mentorship course, and it is running, baby. Let's go. So it's going to be, the next one is going to be from February to March of 2024. And I can show you the page for it here. So this is where it is right now. I've just made this link available and announced it. So there's only 12 spots. There's only 11 now. So spots are starting to fill up right now, which is cool. But yeah, this is a 7-week intensive course mentorship where essentially you're going to be learning a ton of character design fundamentals, going through 7 weekly assignments. You're going to grow a lot through the process. This is for people who love character design but don't know how to improve their characters. They don't know what that next step is. It's for people who, you know, love story and want to advance their character design skills, incorporate character into their world building or concept and all that stuff. All the information here, the important information, the goals and outcomes, you know, After 7 weeks, you'll have created 7 diverse character designs and duos that you'll be able to build on and use as a springboard into future ideas and learning. You'll have refined your process and gain momentum to continue creating characters that are evocative, have depth, and feel alive. You will also develop a hunger for constructive learning, continue to build your visual library, and expand your knowledge of story and design. In short, this course aims to teach a man to fish rather than give a man a fish. So this will push you through and keep you going for the rest of your artistic journey. So yeah, some of the people who reserved last course, they've, all given a very generous rating. Thank you so much, guys. And they've also been producing some incredible work. So I'm very, very proud of all the students from the last cohort. And if you want to join the next class, I added 2 spots because last time it sold out, and some people were kind of disappointed that it sold out. So I added 2 more spots this time for February and March. And if you're interested, definitely check it out. And if you have any questions about the course, well, the link is in the description, so you can read through it at your own pace. But if you have any questions, feel free to reach out, and I will personally answer your questions. Like DM me on Instagram or whatever. I can let you know. So there we have it. Boom, boom, boom. That's that. Plug over. Let's get back to drawing, guys. Boom, 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 boom. Oh, we got more people who just joined. Oh my gosh, a ton of people who just joined. Wow. Solaire says Gabriel's course is super worth it. Sick. Thank you so much. Pandowski made it. Let's go. Martin Baez is here. Solaire says I'm waiting for a student to. Oh, nice. Seth says, dang, no way I could get all that done in 40 minutes. Oh, dude, you'd be surprised, Seth. You'd be surprised, like, continuing to push your skills, right? Like 40 minutes is not a lot of time, but it's also more time than you think. But yeah, let's get back to what we were working on before. Let me catch up with chat here. Pandowski says you remembered last time, and I thought, how about 20 minutes less and 1 character more? That'll be fun. Yeah, exactly. Last time I was like, why don't we do 2 characters in 40 instead of 1 in an hour? Yeah, it's so true. It was so fun. It's great. It pushes you. You got to do something real in that time. Keegan's here. What up, Keegan? Let's go. Oh, sick. Promo +1. Dude. Pandowski says I can't take it. I'm taking more classes around that time. Dude, no stress, man. Jack Renaissance made it. What up, dork? Sick. Let's go. Mako says this course changed my life. 1 out of 10. Best in the bit. Let's go. Bow. Seth says I'm quite slow and ponderous when drawing. Hopefully I can make the next EDC and work on ideas quicker. Dude, join the next one for sure. I mean, one thing that's relevant about that is that I wouldn't set any verbal rules for yourself. Like I wouldn't say I'm slow or I'm very slow and ponderous. Like you can say that oftentimes I employ a slow and ponderous pace, but saying like I am slow and ponderous, it's like, it's the same thing as people saying like I'm not creative or like I'm not artistic or whatever. It's just maybe you haven't developed skills there, but that verbal cue that you're telling yourself will just keep building and really hold you back. Like I used to set a lot of rules for myself in art, and I just see how much they held me back so much over the years, and letting go of those really allowed me to open up and actually go pro, pretty much like become a professional. It's only by letting go of those preconceived notions and letting yourself just vibe out, man. Figure out who you are at the moment, You can be as fast as your skills let you be. And if you want to be faster, you can build your skills. Let's go. Andrew Larkin says, hi. What up, Andrew? Mothmoth says, hope Gabriel and everyone is doing well. Back joining the stream soon. Oh, dude, I hope your animation school is going really well, Moth. You're awesome. I second what Mego said. Yo, thanks, Calvin. Min Hugh. I'm gonna guess that. Hello, first time watching your live stream from Vietnam, and so much love to all your design. Oh, dude, thank you so much, Min. That's like sick. Thank you. Pandowski says it's probably not really your main focus on a piece like this, but I like how you painted it. Yeah, well, this one I'm actually, I'm going as far as I need to with the painting on this one. There's a few things that are very relevant here that help ground the design. I can talk about that a little bit, which is cool. Solaire says, I've been working on noodling more and allowing myself to make messy sketches that I then clean up. Yeah, like think it out, man. Let yourself think it out. some of the artists that you love the most, their rough sketches are way rougher than you think they are. And, you know, once you can trust your process, you can really get messy in the beginning and just have fun ideating and coming up with ideas. I mean, this guy in particular, like I kind of free sketched this because I sort of just needed to draw, you know? But when I'm doing like active world building, usually it's quite messy. I mean, people who have tuned into the stream before definitely know that for sure. So what are we working on today? We're working on this little guy. He's in the world, he's in fish world pretty much. And he is about to speak. He's like calming the crowd or gaining his focus. Like something is about to happen in the story. I'm not 100% sure what, and I'm not going to put too much pressure on myself to figure out what it is for now. I think the reverence he has or the genuine look on his face kind of like says enough about him that I don't know if I need to really 100% figure out what he's up to right now, you know? But yeah, let's see. See what's going on here. Yeah, this is looking good. So, you know, style cues, I'm kind of taking a little bit from Arcane, a little bit from some influences that I have that I really, really love and admire from, you know, world builders and artists that I love. And I'm kind of also putting my own flair in here as well. So that's kind of sort of my reference point for this. And I'm sort of honestly with this piece, maybe setting the tone for the future pieces I make for Fish World, just to be simple and decisive, not overcomplicate anything or anything like that. Just kind of vibing out. Minhyu says, OMG, you pronounced my name 100% correctly. Dude, let's go. I've lived with multiple Vietnamese people across many years in boarding school and university. I've got like a little, I've got a little bit of a, you know, name riz sometimes, but welcome to the chat. Welcome. Solaire says, allowing myself abysmal under sketches with energy. Exactly. So true. Seth says, I almost feel like he could be about to cast a spell, definitely focusing deeply on something. Oh yeah, this is like perfect for me. Like if the world had magic, he would be like, he would be about to like, you know, does Fish World have magic? Are we about to include magic in Fish World? If you eat too much fish, you get magical powers. Is that what happens? You actually get magic powers? Because that would be kind of epic if you got magic powers from like indulging in like okay, maybe we do like a devil fruit parallel. Okay, so in the anime, critically acclaimed anime One Piece, love it or hate it, what would you rate it? They have this idea of someone just buzzed at the door. Give me one sec, guys. I'm just gonna quickly check something. All right. Just had to buzz someone in really quick. Boom. So. Yeah, let's take a look here. He's got main character energy is all I know. Well, that's true. He does have main character energy. We can talk about why he has main character energy in a little bit as well. Arcane, my beloved. So true. New arc? Darth Fishius. You guys are great. I love you guys. Space Prince says, hi, first time chatter. And I like how his poncho reminds me of an octopus. Dude, you're onto it. You're in it. You're understanding, Space Prince. Also, welcome, Space Prince, to the chat. Love to have you here. Solaire says, last time we found out that the fish world pests is like crabs, similar to Costa Rican iguanas, New York rats, etc. Heck yeah. Solaire says, hello, Space Prince. Welcome in. Things blah, blah, blah. Awesome. Welcome to Fish World. We all love Fish World, dude. I love Fish World so much. So that's gonna be my next project. I think it's going to be making a mini art book for this project. That's gonna be my next year project for sure. Ooh, I'm receiving a phone call. I'm just gonna quickly answer it, guys. Okay, so I have to let someone inside the apartment right now. I'll be right back, guys. All right, I am here. I am back, guys. I just had to let my beloved Isabel in. She's the best. She might come say hi if you guys are lucky. Who knows? Um, gutter crabs rise up. Let's go. It's so true. Mega says pre-ordering Fish World book from now. Let's go. Spaceman says would buy. I love how you get. Oh, the emoji thing covers your messages sometimes. I love how you get form in your art. Yo, thank you. So there's a few things that actually show the form, right? So we can talk about that fundamental right now a little bit. And I've been going over a lot of this stuff with the students in the course, and if anyone's curious about pushing and learning how to get those effects in your art, then definitely consider doing some kind of like educational thing, whether it's my course or someone else's, on how to achieve those different effects and forms and stuff. But let's talk about it here a little bit. So let's see. Black and white. Yeah, so we can see from the black and white image here, we're seeing that actually it doesn't have to be black and white. Let's talk about why there's form. So first of all, we know there's form because we know this character exists in like a reality, right? So there are a few things that are contributing to this reality. And one of those things that are contributing to the reality of this drawing is that, well, number one, the actual lines that represent objects in this are flowing and moving around what looks to be three-dimensional objects. So that means the cloak is curving around the arm at this angle. It's curving over and around this arm in this way. It's bending in and around. It's bending not inside the body, but outside the body because there is a body here. And there are a few other elements here where there's folds of the fabric going in. So from the line perspective alone, there's things in front and behind, and we're communicating form with overlapping lines where it's relevant. The second thing we want to consider is how we're using value. So we're using value in this piece to both describe different materials, so that this poncho is a different material from these pants. We know that because this is much lighter than this. The local value is much lighter here than it is here. And we also know that the local value for these are darker than these and all of that stuff. So we know there's some different, materials here as well. Same with the hair and the skin tone, all that stuff. There's another element as well, which is that we're using value to describe light, and light also implies things about form. So here we see that light is creating a specular highlight, maybe not exactly a specular highlight, but running along the most edge form of these kind of, kelpie folds of this poncho to show that this material is a little bit shiny, probably. It's smooth. You can imagine that if you would run your fingers along, it would be like running your fingers along like it would have like a squeaky kind of sound probably. And you know that just from how the specular highlight goes across, because you don't see it on the pants here. No speculars there. If I did have speculars across the pants and they had that same sort of like energy, right? If I used a hardened opacity and I kind of went in and sort of, I would do a different value here, but let's say I did like little specular highlights around and they kind of went down and around, then maybe these pants would be a little bit shiny too. You would like assume they were, right? They would have to be lighter than that. And you get that if material is wet and all that other stuff, but regardless, it's pretty darn cool, I think, personally. Yeah, and we're kind of identifying that the shoes here are the same material as the poncho, again, because of these rules. I haven't set these light rules. But then also we know a little bit about the atmosphere of the character for two reasons. One, because we know there are rules of light. So for instance, light is coming generally from the top down, not like a crazy, top down intense spotlight, but enough that there would be shadows under the neck, there would be shadows under the poncho, and as things go down, we see a little bit of a cast shadow energy, not a crazy amount there. So we know the light's not crazy bright, but enough that cast shadows do exist in this scenario. Where it's most evident is actually where these pants come out on the form. They come forward, and we know they come forward because these are in shadow, and that casts the shadow down, and that creates this this area of light here, right? So the rest of the shoe is in shadow, but what's not in shadow is sticking out in the front. So we have an idea about the form there, just based on light, using value and color to describe that. Pretty cool, right? Art's so cool. I love art. So, beep boop bop boop beep boop bop. What else are we doing? Let's check in on the chat here. Whoa. We got a whole bunch of homies here. Let's go. Hi, Ryan. Mean Hugh says, so he's based on an octopus. I thought he was based on a green jellyfish, which could throw some paralyzed ball. Oh, yeah, it could very well be. I mean, the idea behind Fish World is not necessarily that each character maybe is like one particular creature, but it's more that the shape language of design in this world, if you, for instance, to look at, 1920s through 40s Europe, going from the era of Nouveau into the Art Deco kind of Gilded Age, where things become more simplified based on different types of innovation, building materials, all that stuff. Here, the design is based on what is around them, which is, ocean stuff. So the natural design inclinations would gear themselves more towards what they see in nature around them, which is really only fish stuff, right? Or like whales or whatever. So things would kind of mimic that for sure. Meal47 says, yes, little tutorial. Welcome, Meal. Solaire says, but you should totally choose Gabriel's course because it's awesome. Man, you got the current students are all the marketing I need. You guys are improving so much. Katerina Curto says, hi, first time watching you live. Amazing work, and all your world building advice has been helping a lot. Great work all around. Let's go. All right. Big win. I love when the videos have impact and people are enjoying art. That's sick. Very cool. Keanu's here. Keanu Steve. What up, brother, man? Ryan says, insane soft hard edge control on the pants. Yeah, that one, I've been looking at some art, man, and really focusing on that because there's a few things you can do really kind of easily. So if you want to show especially with clothing folds, soft edges versus hard edges, or not soft edge versus hard, but more like cast shadow versus form shadow is a really important distinction, because if it's a form shadow and it's deprived of light, you get that gradual shift in value, a little bit lower here. It's like very gradual, small shift in value. And if it is a cast shadow like this, you would get much more of a hard shape along the edge, because it's a shadow being cast by an object in front, which is blocking the light, right? So how that shows here, for instance, with this little subtle difference here, is we know that basically from what we did with the light, that the form, if we skeletonize this or we wireframe it, we know the form is kind of doing this, right? Because it's a gradual shift into shadow. So we know that the form is receding back a little bit. So understanding lighting and putting your characters in a lit environment not only increases the believability and the atmosphere of your project, but it also helps you communicate the form too without the faculty of drawing as much. Let's see. Solaire says, I feel like the coat is more of a vinyl, but the pants are neoprene. True. Space Prince says, do you feel like color values play into why people feel like the character gives MC energy? Color values, MC. I don't know what you mean by MC. Minecraft? Maybe. Actually, a little. It's kind of in the value range of Minecraft. If I brought in a grass block, it kind of is the same sort of value range a little bit. Not gonna lie. Oh, main character. Cool. True. Space Prince says, or is it a mixture of shape language and the general other parts of the design? Yeah, so we could talk about that too. Pandelsky says, I like how the shadows are a warmer color as well from the ground reflection. Subtle color variation helps a lot. Shadow on the bottom of the pants. Yeah, for sure. So that means he's probably in a boardwalk environment. He's around a lot of wood, most likely. That's kind of the environment that this character would live in the world building environment or story. Seth has to go. Much love, Seth. Keegan says, in that case, what about the external influences? Because spy pirates are in the same world, right? Yeah, maybe. Yeah, no, they are. They're kind of canon in the same world a little bit. Guys, don't make fun of me for thinking it was Minecraft. Don't make fun of me. I thought they meant MC Hammer. Yeah, me too, Keanu. So true. Fish World canonically has Minecraft in it. No. Yeah, so why does this have main character energy? There's a few reasons. One, believe it or not, it's because the character is young. That actually does more than you think to contribute to a character being a main character. The other element is that this character is in a very simple design. So oftentimes main characters follow very, very simple design rules. He's not necessarily screaming any particular purpose, but we know he's important because we've given a great deal of importance to his emotion in the moment, right? So basically how you're feeling is you are very much empathizing with this character. So if you can empathize with the character you're looking at and really place yourself and really wonder what's happening, and you're expecting what they're going to do and you're wondering about what's going to happen to them, it's a great indication that you have captured the essence of a main character. If this character was like much more zany or pushed in any kind of direction, it actually would cease to have the utility that a main character has in the same way, which, believe it or not, I go into very, very rich detail in my mentorship course. So that's cool if you're curious. I want to add a little bit of sheen to the hair here. My girlfriend is just like in the room looking at me. She's really cute. Is there a bagel I could eat? Really? Oh my gosh. I can't eat it right now. Okay, thank you. Pandowski also thought Minecraft. Thank goodness. Yearns for the mind, truly. Space Prince says, in the world of fish, I'm crafting, I'm mining. No. Metamog says, can you maybe talk about how you choose your base mannequin construction? I struggle with that. It would be nice to hear some tips. So the mannequin is very useful for working out issues, right? So like if you need to work out a pose and you're like, all right, well, I know I want to do an upshot where the character's chin is raised, right? You'll draw the jawline, you know where the skull is, you'll connect it to the body and say like, okay, well, I know that the rib cage raises up here. I know that the shoulders are a ball and socket joint, right? Connected by the shoulder blades and in front with the collarbones here, right? It connects back and it helps to connect all the musculature there. So the shoulder blades are behind. You also have the spine that kind of goes all the way behind the character. Let's be a little bit this way. So with a mannequin, it's great to figure out a lot of those forms and a lot of the function, right? So there's one version where the mannequin is literally cylinders, right? Just cylinders. Beep boop bop, boop beep boop bop. Here they are, you know. We know that the elbow joint is a hinge joint. It only goes up and down, but what gives you the tilt is actually how the shoulder moves. This only goes back and forth. And the wrist can only turn over completely in one direction. And that's because the forearm bones literally cross over. That's what happens on the inside. They cross over each other, which is so crazy. But yeah, so you kind of know that. So the mannequin helps you with that base function, right? And here with kind of the hips of the character, you know, again, the legs connect here. This is also a ball and socket joint. So pretty much people have injuries most commonly in the hips and the shoulders because they're ball and socket joints. They're very vulnerable, but it's also why they have the most range of movement as well. But there are always breakpoints to how far certain body parts can move, and it would really help you actually to get in your own body and feel how your body moves and be conscious of it. That'll actually help you with your art, believe it or not. But yeah, so these elements can help you figure out certain kind of base functions of a design, right? But when you want to capture emotion and gesture, it's kind of like you need to almost let go a little bit of the mannequin in the same way, because if you're drawing cylinders and you're drawing circles and you're drawing joints and all that stuff, it's kind of like that's one form of thinking, right? It's kind of like, in my opinion, the difference between someone like one by one counting to 100 and somebody being really good at guesstimating like what is they're looking at, right? It's kind of like one takes you an instant and the other one takes you a very long process. The very long process will get you to the result, but it's kind of like, you know, with drawing, if you're not you can just create a lot of stilted gesture. Versus if you look for gestural lines, and this comes with a lot of intuition built over years of practice, life drawing, or you yourself, if again you're very in your own body and understand how it moves, you can then kind of create gestural lines that can serve to deliver a more impactful gesture. So now when you're going with a very, very loose gesture, you can say, okay, well, now I know the rib cage is here, and I know that the shoulder comes over, and now you're building the mannequin, but you're building it based off of a gesture, right? And we know from sculpture, from dancers, from art that we see anywhere and everywhere, that the human body it's made up of kind of a lot of straight parts and weird parts, but really it flows in a beautiful way. So we can take a gesture like this, right, and give this character, a sword and make them kind of a bit of a threat and standing and sort of have their spine arching forward and the pelvis going forward, and maybe we think this leg goes back here now and this leg goes forward. So maybe we change the angle that we had this at, and instead we have this leg going back and this leg going across, and now from this gesture, we push it even more, and we push the head forward, and we know they're kind of looking off to this angle, which means maybe the body's tilted a little bit more, and raises up, and you're kind of building the maquette now on top of your gesture line, which is going to get you a lot more energy, right? And you can even think like, zoom, you want certain energy, and then figure out what the anatomy is that attaches to that. And you can do that with either primitive shapes, or if you kind of already know how the different pieces of anatomy are going to fit together, then you can use that method as well. But again, that requires a lot of practice, knowledge, a lot of stuff kind of built into your brain and stuff. So, when working on mannequins, it's like you can construct it to the ends of the earth, but at the end of the day, if you don't have a sense of gesture, then there's not going to be any acting in the character. And if you're designing a character that lives in a world and not just designing a costume or designing static elements, you really want that character's personality to come through, really, for game design or animation, whatever you're doing. Whoa, here we go. So I hope that helped, Metamog, with your question on mannequins, gesture, all that stuff. Here, I'll cut this over so we don't have to look at it too much, but we can still sort of see it there. Fish world, which means it's fun. Fish fact time. Yeah. True. Space Prince says, interesting. I kind of knew about the idea of people empathizing and seeing themselves in younger main characters, but it's interesting to see that point be expanded upon. Oh my gosh, dude, there is so much behind character design that you just have no idea about because no one teaches it. It's not something that is like no one is going to. Man, it's really hard to teach character design, and that's mostly because character design sits on top of so many fundamentals, so many, and because of that, when people teach character design, they oftentimes only teach the fundamentals. But the issue with that is that once you get to the point where you can draw a character, now you have the issue of like, what is that character doing, and now you raise the question of like, well, who are they? And once you ask that question, there's a whole other set of fundamentals, for them to actually walk, you need to actually have like a bridge forward. So it's really hard to teach, which is why my course is not fundamental focused. It's actually theory focused, and fundamentals that come up, I'll expand on and teach for sure. But all that stuff. I'm just plugging the course a lot today because I'm going to be gone in California, and I want you guys to know it's available and it exists, and it's really fun and cool. So Solaire says, the breeding pattern of eels remains a continuous mystery. Scientists know that most eels breed somewhere in the Sargasso Sea. However, exactly where they go and when is a mystery. Well, the Sargasso seaweed is a really, really cool, it has really interesting biodiversity, which I know a lot about because I'm from Bermuda, actually. We get a lot of Sargasso clumps of seaweed arriving on shore and bringing all these amazing little guys. So, body lore. Body lore. So true. Space Prince says, whoa. Solaire says, all my hips and shoulders dislocate. Fun me fact. I can dislocate my left shoulder, but I stopped doing it because a lot of guys in my family can do that, and they've like wrecked their shoulders. Okay, amazing. So I have about, how much more time to stream? I have about 15-ish minutes that I can keep streaming before I have to, I actually have a one-on-one with one of the students for the course that's coming to an end right now. So I have to dip and go help the incredible student work on his incredible work. But yeah, so Space Prince says, question for Fish World. If there are people based on general deep sea type creatures, are there influences from other types of water bodies, temperatures and stuff like rivers or tropical sea versus one from a colder environment? You know, I've thought about that, but what's interesting is that, you know, the idea around this world is it's actually like kind of locked. It's like locked in the middle of nowhere. So this is a little lore about me. I moved when I was 10 years old from California to Bermuda. And if you don't know where Bermuda is, if this is America and this is South America and this is Europe and this is all the other stuff over yonder, Bermuda is literally like the middle of the ocean. It's in the middle of nowhere. Everyone thinks it's down here by the Caribbean, but it's not. It's in the middle of nowhere, Bermuda. And so it's kind of like a really interesting place. And for most of history of the planet, no one lived on it until, you know, a ship crashed and shipwrecked on the shore, a British ship, and they settled there. It was discovered by a Portuguese captain, but it was settled by the British. So it's a British overseas territory still. So it's like locked in space, and kind of like a lot of the subconscious influence for this project comes from the idea that they are in the middle of nowhere, a tiny volcanic island in a vast ocean. So what's cool about Fish World is that the idea is that the ocean is so treacherous and dangerous that you can't actually have ships outside of the reef, the inner reef. And the actual island is a small part of this reef. So this is kind of how volcanic islands work. You kind of have the volcano that used to peak up over the ocean, but over millions and millions of years of erosion, eventually it becomes kind of a reef plateau with only certain amounts kind of sticking out, right? And so on that rock, there is a city built, right? And outside of that rock is this boardwalk, kind of like extended small towns that like are these sort of different areas and stuff. And beyond that is nothing for millions and millions of miles. So it's a very isolated place. The very wealthy can leave and go on vacation to wherever, but they always go back, right? To Fish World. So that's kind of the lore of the world. So let's go. So not really any rivers or anything other than like this kind of deep sea kind of idea, but it's sort of semi-tropical kind of vibes, but not really. Meal says so cool. Dude, it is so cool. It's very cool. Keegan says, I've got to say that as a dancer, I found I can intuit a lot more about how poses should/shouldn't look than before I danced. Granted, I was also like 10 before I danced, so age probably helps. Yeah, no, 100%. I danced in high school. It helped a lot. Minhue says, I'm working on an RPG tribe game, which I have big creature hunting experienced, struggling with stylized style and the creatures also. But I just get an idea through your Instabird concept. Oh, nice. That's sick. Yeah, dude. Take inspiration from everywhere you can. Metamog says, thank you so much. Dude, I got you, buddy. Very cool. Dude, epic. Individual feedbacks are genuinely life-changing. Yeah, let's go. Dude, awesome. Oh, see you later, Martin. Take care, buddy. All right, so let's like kind of wrap up the stream. So we haven't actually really developed this painting all that much. We've kind of just sort of dissected it a little bit, looked at it. But you know, there's some relevant things here, I think. There's some little relevant little guys, but he's a cool character. So yeah, the main character thing is that he's actually quite generic, and you kind of need that everyman vibe in order to empathize with a character in this way, you know? So that's also relevant to the concept. Shablamo. There's also a argument for stylizing the lines, and what that looks like essentially is to, on top, you know, pick a color and pretty much paint on top of the lines to infuse the you know, because lines are interesting, right? They're used to describe form, but if you color them, they almost blend in with the form in a unique way. It's, I don't know, it's a way of like kind of separating a little bit the distance between the stylized line reality and actual reality. So even by coloring the lines a little bit here, and here we can use a softer green tone. It's a bit darker, I guess, as well. We can figure it out, right? Boom, bam. Here we go. So we can look at the effect this has too in the final image as well. And when it comes to the skin tone, we can just take his local skin tone, darken it quite a bit, move it across the form. So yeah, coloring your lines, it's a very interesting method, adding in a unique kind of depth. With the hair, we can keep it quite dark though, I think. So you can see the difference it makes. It's not a crazy difference, but you know, it actually does kind of make a difference in sort of how you're experiencing the character in space. It brings it one step closer to painting and one step farther away from the kind of graphic look. If I remove it, it brings it back into this graphic world, right? And when I add it in, it's just a very slight change to some of the lines, right? It's much more softened in this world. And even on top of this, what we could do, this is often what I do before I finish an illustration, is I'll take the brush I sketched with. This one was my Slay oval sketch, which I made on stream last stream. And this brush is available to all the patrons in the Discord channel. Anyone who becomes a patron can download my brush set for free. Shout out to the patrons, and shout out to the brush engine in Photoshop. You know, Adobe's good for some stuff. Sometimes. Shout out to my boy Adobe. Annihilating my GPU every day. But yeah, I like to kind of paint on top a little bit with the sketch brush almost. It kind of creates a cool sort of textured look, especially around the face. You can do some interesting things around the face as well when employing this technique. It's kind of cool. Whoa. Boom, boom, boom. Ryan says, that's so neato. Little guys. Main says, what did I miss? Based coloring the line work. A bunch. Haha. Yeah, you can do it. It's allowed. Keegan says, based patrons. Y'all should get on that. The Discord is so much fun. Dude, it is so much fun. We had so much fun on the challenge today. Main says, what time is the stream going until? I have to end it in about 10-ish minutes, guys. About 10. Boom, bam. I'm going to try to stream tomorrow as well before I ship out to Los Angeles. But we'll see. We'll see how far I get with all the packing and stuff. Man, I have so much packing to do. Today's kind of like the day I sort of get to stream, you know? But yeah, this phase in the design, I'll even like take what I have so far and flatten a version of it so I can just work on top and just kind of be loose. Dude, no worries. You can be late. I mean, luckily these streams are all recorded and they're kept up for free for you guys because I love you guys. You guys are awesome. I was thinking about doing maybe like one stream a month. It's just for the patrons. I don't know. There's like enough now that it's like, you know, significant. Maybe like a fun one where I like sketch whatever they want or something. I don't know. That could be fun. A fun time. Yeah, I love this character. He's feeling so cool. Fun, fun. Yeah, any more questions before I hop off, guys? I still have a few minutes if you guys have a question. Ryan says, indeed, that was a cool challenge today. Dude, it was so fun. Yo, thanks, guys. For real. Space Prince says I should be heading off. If I don't make it for tomorrow's stream, have a fun and stay safe on your trip. Dude, thank you so much, man. Thank you so much for joining. New member of the chat. Awesome. I like this. Lol, I look like this. How did you know? Oh, really? Cool. I mean, somebody looks like everybody looks like someone, right? And I remember the first time it happened to me where like I thought I was like unique and my style was like weird. I was like, oh, my style's so weird and the people I draw are so weird. And I remember walking down the street and seeing someone who looked exactly like one of my drawings, like what I thought was a strange face. I saw it on a person and I was like, damn, mankind is diverse as heck. What am I doing thinking that like X, Y, and Z is weird just because like Riot only produces characters that have the exact same face every single time doesn't mean that there aren't more faces that exist in the world. And why is that like a weird thing that a face doesn't fit into one particular mold? I love unconventional faces. They're so cool. Cool. We're keeping the values on the face very subtle. We don't want to push it too much. Yeah, we don't want it to be too crazy, right? Maybe we want a little bit more of a conventional nose, like a little bit. Probably grab some reference for that. Boom, 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 boom. Metamog says, where do you start when building a world from a visual standpoint? How much do you write front up? Yo, also mains dip in, dude, much love. Oh, dude, this community is so welcoming. You guys are awesome. Min says the course is beyond my financial means, but I'm considering signing up for the Patreon mentorship instead of the course. Hope it helps me with my project. Oh, dude, you should join. It's so fun. Dude, heck yes. And yeah, the course, it is definitely costs money for sure. Like, so the price for the course now it's $850, which translates to like something less than like 100 per week or 100 something per week, like very low amount. Let me just divide that really quick. Yeah, it's like 120 per week. So basically what you get from that is the lecture and the feedback session, and that's cheap for any course, a lecture and feedback session with that. But with this course, there's actually a one-on-one every week with each student. So you're getting an hour one-on-one with every student. It's like, which is an insane deal. Like no other course has that. Like that's a one-on-one mentorship, and that would be like triple or quadruple this price. So this is like a very, very, it's worth it. It's definitely not for everyone, but it is like 100% worth what it is for sure. But if it is beyond someone's means, they should not. Do what you can with what you got. It's straight robbery a little bit. Yeah, but it's that thing. It's like, you can say like a Honda something is like a super value car, and like it's amazing and it'll do so much for you. But if someone like literally just can't afford a car, then comparing cars isn't really going to make much of a difference. So fully understanding that for sure. It's also like some people aren't ready to make an investment in a certain form of education yet. Like they don't know 100%, if they want to pursue art in that way. But if you do want to pursue art in that way, it can save you a lot of time. Actually, the best testimonial I've gotten so far from the course is one of the students saying that I have saved them years of confusion and anguish. That was like the biggest testimonial I got that meant the most to me, because that's what a course is designed to do. It's designed to shorten the time in between, like how long it takes for you to understand or get to a certain point. You learn a lot in a short amount of time and helps you improve faster in all other areas. So it's kind of like one of those things where it's like, people say like time is money. It's like one of those things where you do save a lot of time in the long run, though. That's the thing. Long-term investments are for times when you can make long-term investments. All the mentorships I've taken, my goodness, saved me years. So I guess I would have the same testimonial. Very cool. Yeah, so let's kind of go back to the original topic of this stream, right? So we wanted to talk about, I kind of like the old nose. I think I kind of ruined it a little bit. Yeah, there was like something about the old nose that was really, really nice. I actually like the more caricatured nostril vibe. It was fun. So the original topic for world building was really, talking about like maintaining a sense of reverence. And I think that the change in approach for this character that makes it successful, or makes it really fun for me at least, is that I really respect who this character is and like where they are going in their life and what they are doing and all that fun stuff. Like it's really cool. Versus being like, oh, I have to do a main character, and then thinking like, I'm going to do a main character. Like right now I'm drawing this character and I'm trying to understand who they are on that level, right? Very cool. Let's go. Dude, let's go. But the nose has a nice snake vibe to me. Yeah, it's kind of interesting for that reason, right? Like there's something about it that's kind of cool. I like it a lot. So we'll see. We'll keep pushing it and see how we feel. For now, I maybe want to stop overworking the face so much and see where we're at overall. The hands might be a little bit big on this character. That's one thing that I've noticed when looking at it. Either the hands are big or the head is small, but I think it's more that the hands are big. The head could be a little bit small, but I think it's more so the hands here. But they're so expressive. And oftentimes you'll give characters slightly bigger hands than they actually need to help the expressiveness. Something I learned a long time ago from some professional artists. They actually go quite caricatured in terms of the hand size just for that purpose of being expressive in that way. You get a lot out of it, man. Like, realism always deprives you of something, and stylization always deprives you of something, but they both also grant you something as well, right? Abe says we should make a stream or a video where all the students talk about the course and how it helped us so that people can understand how it helped. Oh, sick. Yeah, maybe. That'd be actually pretty fun. We'll see. Very cool. I love art so much. This is so fun. This character's so cool. All right. I think I have to bounce very soon. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, guys, I do have to go, so we're going to have to end it there. But it was so much fun working on this guy and talking about some of the breakdown stuff around design with this guy in terms of like color, light, value, material, sketching, line, you know, coloring line, all that stuff. We covered a lot today, which was cool. Some head stuff too, and kind of like focusing in on our mindset, you know, when creating characters and stuff. And yeah, just like a quick reminder to everyone to be kind to yourself and to keep enjoying art. That's the most important thing, for sure. For sure. Awesome. Yeah, very cool. All right, guys. Well, I'm just sending everyone good vibes. Maybe we could do a little camera outro moment. Yeah, if you're watching this live, you're incredible and amazing, and I love you, and thank you for tuning in and watching. You're so great, and I'm so thankful. And if you're watching this as a VOD, then welcome to the channel. If you're new, definitely consider subscribing for sure and sticking around if you want to learn more about character design, world building, all that fun stuff. And if you want to join the community Discord, you can do so through the Patreon link in the description. It is totally, I kept the cost very low. It's only $3 a month, and you can join, and we do regular character design stuff, which is fun. Character design challenges and just like hangouts and sketch hangouts and everything. It's really cool. And it's a great space with great people, which is really nice, which is really cool. And if you're interested in my mentorship course during the months of February and March of next year, then you can find that link in the description. It's going to be, available to get seats for a while, so definitely don't feel rushed into getting it, but definitely check it out and see if it is for you. And the last one sold out, so, if you want to get a spot, then definitely grab a spot for sure. Sending you guys such good vibes today, and I will catch you guys on the next one. Peace out, guys. See you later.